And joining us tonight, Tom Fitton, the president of Judicial Watch. It was, I have to say, the president speaking very directly about officialdom under the Obama, in the Obama era, both the FBI and the Justice Department. Do you concur?
Yes, they engaged in my view, criminal conduct that's never been seen before in American history. The use of the intelligence agencies to concoct smears against the president or incoming president or candidate. They spied on him beginning when he ran through the presidency. And, that was an abuse of authority, abuse of power, lied to the courts. We've never seen anything like it before. We've never seen anything like it before. And the fact there's been zero prosecutions is inexcusable. And I don't see anything coming up that the FBI or DOJ at the senior levels are going to be held accountable here. Look, even these new unclassified material suggests that someone had covered this part up. Why was this material covered up to begin with? Why wasn't it released when the IG report was initially released? Why? Because it demonstrated further criminal activity by the FBI. And let me just say this, Lou. It wasn't just the Russians working with the Clinton campaign that we had to be worried about. The FBI knew that was a possibility, but the FBI was working with the Russians directly and indirectly here, it's clear, because they wanted to work with the Clinton campaign on this. They knew that Steele possibly was using Russia sources. My guess is they were probably Western intelligence sources telling them that they were Russian. Either way, the FBI was happy to work with Steele directly on this. So you had the Obama FBI, the Clinton campaign, and it looks like perhaps Russia intelligence in a joint operation against not only the candidate, the president-elect, but then the president of the United States. Sedition that needs to be prosecuted. And if this Justice Department can't figure out how to do it, the president should appoint a special counsel separate and apart to do it.
You know, the idea that we would have more investigations is just sickening to me. I'm not saying that you're wrong either in calling for it or that it would be wrong to do so. I'm just saying that September 2016, we're talking almost 4 years ago now, this is not an accident that this has been drawn out, that it has been, the clock has been ticking throughout all of this. This has been a concerted effort. And by the way, in that concert, I don't doubt for a minute that there is almost as many rhinos working as there are radical Dems on Capitol Hill who are actually complicit just because of their passivity, if nothing else. It is outrageous where the American people are. And let's be straightforward. The Democrats have been cheering all of this perfidy and this attempt to overthrow a president, particularly the Democratic leaders of the House and the Senate. And rhinos are just as complicit because they haven't the character or the integrity or the energy, perhaps. They seem to be, a lot of them, very low energy, don't they, these rhinos, to actually stand up for the country and for a president. It's appalling.
I get heated about it because it's sedition. And it was a breaking of the law like I've never seen before. And this casual approach to sedition by our establishment class is beneath contempt, in my view. The president is right to be outraged about it. What's concerning about it is that no one around him seems to be outraged similarly. And what's going to happen in the Justice Department, Lou, even if they do get to the position of being able to prosecute someone that who will probably be a lower-level official, they'll say, well, you know, we were deciding whether to do something else, but we're getting close to the election, and our guidelines prevent us from doing anything at that time. This is, you're right, they're stalling it. And right now, for instance, the FBI told us they can't give us any documents because of coronavirus. The State Department said, oh, well, all those documents you want on Biden and Burisma and China, we're shut down till coronavirus passes. Isn't that convenient? It's not essential government business, evidently, to follow transparency law.
Well, and truth is certainly not part of their business because they certainly have not been the originators of truth nor transparency. I want to talk about Stephen Halper here as we conclude, if I may, Tom, because he is one of those who's evaded examination. He has not had a hard, clear light cast on him. Neither has Christopher Steele. Neither have the intelligence agencies of Australia, the UK, and Italy in particular. This is the Five Eyes, and their role in this is easily inferred. More difficult to prove it, but it's hardly conjecture to look at what we're seeing in that intelligence community, international intelligence community, to see some very close work and orchestrated efforts on the part of some of those agencies with the central figures of the Obama era campaign, intelligence campaign against this president.
Halper was getting cash from the Defense Department. It's pretty clear it was walking around money to allow him to spy for the FBI, perhaps the CIA, I don't know. The question is, which government agencies in the Obama administration weren't involved in the spy operation against Trump? I don't know, maybe the Department of Agriculture didn't have anything to do with it, but it looks like everyone else did. And in terms of the foreign governments, what Western democracies weren't involved? We have now confirmation. They talked to the Brits about Christopher Steele. There's other evidence the Italians were involved. Obviously, the Australians were involved through Downer. So this was an international conspiracy against President Trump. He is right to be suspicious of the intelligence community, whose credibility is zero, at least when it comes to analyzing, quote, Russia interference in our elections and the reason behind it.
Well, Tom, it's always good to have you with us, and we'll continue to take this up. It's an interesting web they spun, and a tale that goes on and on. Thanks.